we're vibing. While we're talking, you can get your laugh on. Watch the channel of a video. And subscribe, like and follow. Chillin' with the girls. With the girls. The girls. With the girls. Chillin' with the girls. With the girls. With the girls. With the girls. Chillin' with the girls.
Hello there, and welcome to another episode of Chilling with the Girls.
Woohoo!
We are in episode 12. I'm Tanya.
Wow. I'm Tish. Come on, like and comment on our show. Why don't you?
I'm Mary. Don't forget to share and hit the notification bell.
And I am Mel. Y'all wait for me to say it right. I'm not gonna say it. Okay. It rhymes with Bell.
No.
I know it's corny, but I like it.
It is what it is, and it is.
Yes. So tonight, as you can see, we are talking about mothers. The show all about mothers. Yeah, some fun things, not so fun things, and we're just chatting with the girls tonight about mothers.
It's all about mothers.
Yes.
So I found. I'm sorry, you were gonna say something?
No, go ahead.
So I found some kind of funny little jokes about moms. Okay, so listen to this one. It's saying, being a mom to a teenager will make you understand why some animals eat their young.
That's not funny.
Oh, yes, it is.
That isn't funny.
Look, it said teenagers. I know you all have had teenagers.
I know.
All of us have had teenagers. All right, here's another one. It is sad when you sit around waiting for mom to make dinner, and then you realize you are the mom. You gotta make dinner.
See?
That was kind of cute. Okay, I like this one.
Mm-mm-mm.
That's it. I'm selling my kid on eBay. And then somebody else said, don't be silly. You made him. Sell him on Etsy.
Mom, I wanted to ask you a question because you have, how many children do you have?
No, my son, I have a
8
son.
boys and 4 girls.
You have 8 boys and 4. So what did you like about motherhood?
Almost everything, really. I love for y'all to be in the house if it was raining or snow, so we can play school. And I like all of my kids. I like, and I still want my kids to be around me.
Mom, didn't you like when we used to play? What was that? We used to play game show games. Remember?
I know we played a lot of games,
but I'm saying no, like from TV,
like Family Feud and stuff like that.
We used to play the pyramid. Remember, we used to do that stuff.
Oh yeah, I love that. Yeah,
that was so much fun.
So you like everything about being a mom?
Oh well, I would say 90% of the stuff.
So what's the 10% that you didn't like?
Oh well, I didn't like it when y'all didn't come straight from school. And I didn't like it when you waited the last minute to do a school project. And then at the end, I would have to do the project myself. I didn't like that. What else? Of course, I didn't like y'all to waste food, which very seldom. His dad be at the table. That he would tell you wouldn't waste your food.
Wow.
And I did. And some of the stuff, I think some people didn't like to wear the clothes I gave them or something. They would cry and pout. Sometimes I stay up all night. And then
I
you
want to
be,
ask this
let
question.
me take your picture. You be pouting and dragging your feet, or oh, I didn't like it when we get ready to go someplace and somebody was missing. And I didn't know they were missing until I was ready to come home from our trip. Then I found out they were missing.
That was a lot of time. Remember, you lost some kids one time, mommy, at the
I think
circus
everybody was lost.
there at the. Oh, that was crazy.
Didn't we all get lost? What?
I think she.
Except me. I don't think I was ever lost.
And then somebody was missing. Oh, and what was amazing, mom always knew what we had on. All of us. Isn't that amazing?
Really?
Yes, how she'll go to Officer Friendly. Back then it was Officer Friendly. And they say, well, what was she wearing? Well, she this and this and so. I mean, she knew what everybody had on who was missing.
Hmm.
And she did the head count like the Home Alone thing. Every time I watch Home Alone, when they're on their way to the airport and they're doing the head count, I think about mom. We had to say present here, like, before we pulled off in the van. But for some reason, we didn't do it coming home from church. Why didn't you do it coming home from church?
I probably was, no, I started doing everybody's name. Remember, I stopped when I say, if you are over 12, you shouldn't be lost. Then I just stopped. I count them up to like age 12. And then but one time y'all really saved the day when you were arguing. That was a good time y'all were fussing and arguing. You remember when we stopped by the store to get something like sugar or milk or something?
Oh, yeah, a giant.
And y'all were in the car fussing and arguing. And guess what I did? Nothing. I was tired. I had a baby in my lap and a baby on my knee. Both of them was asleep and I was tired. And I let you fuss. I want to go to the store. All of us want to go in. I just said nothing until Sam said, Mom, he saw somebody going in that store with a gun, with a rifle and a trash bag. And he could see the shape of it. It was two guys. And that was God had y'all arguing, because y'all would have been in there in the midst of that holdup.
God had us arguing.
But one
thing you can't say you like us arguing. So it just so happened, it just turned out that way. You don't like us fussing.
I didn't say I liked it. I said
that. You said, I like that. I like when y'all was arguing. Everybody.
That time, just that incident.
I'm just saying.
You remember that when Sam was saying, what was he saying? That it was odd that those people had on raincoats.
Yeah.
And it wasn't raining. Remember that? They had on long raincoats and it wasn't raining. He said something is up with that.
Wow.
Yeah.
And a big long trash bag. It looked like a rifle was inside of it or something.
Yeah, and they were holding it.
So Mom, so you like the whole having a children, like you ain't had no problems. What were your personalities? What did you have to deal with different personalities?
Yeah, they were different, but y'all were alike too, a whole lot. Like if I couldn't tell y'all voices, like over the phone or something. Yeah, y'all were a lot alike and also different. And the girls, you remember that time Tish and Tawana, they were something else. How about the time you didn't want the shoes I wanted y'all to get at the store?
Those green shoes.
You remember that? Because, you see, when we shop twice a year, right? And this particular time was school shopping time. I got everything out of the catalog except shoes. That's when we went all of y'all to the store, and you get your feet measured for stores, but for the shoes. But you know what the sales lady would say? It's easier fitting all your kids for shoes than it is for parents that have one or two children. But they just looked at it, say it's much easier. Y'all just sit together. But when I got to Tisha and to one, they got their heads together. I said either brown shoes or black shoes. And that way you can wear those shoes, that color with everything. You said, oh, we want these green shoes. Green suede shoes, the gold buckles, and the stack heels. Remember that?
I was wrong. Okay, it was green. We wanted the green shoes.
They were green.
They were green suede with the gold buckle on the side and stack heels. I said, look, these are the only shoes you're going to get. I said, you're going to have to wear every color dress with these shoes. Yeah. Oh, we want it. I said, you know what I said? All right. All right. And so, and then with those days, you could get 3 dresses for like $10 at the catalog. You know.
So how did you get everybody dressed for church? You had 12 kids, like, well, you had 6 at a time, like it's 6. So
I tell you, everything was a plan. I had to plan everything.
Well, we got to teach people because they have one child and they late for church, or
it was a plan. Like I started my laundry on Monday, and sometime I finish washing maybe Saturday night or early Sunday morning. I wash maybe 7 days a week. You know, I wash, and if I see something Monday and I'm doing laundry, I say, "Oh, this is a beautiful dress. I'm gonna save this for Sunday. I'm gonna save it for Sunday." And then and whenever I see something really nice, I'm gonna save this for Sunday. So I wash it and fix it and bang it up. So I wasn't struggling to find something on a Saturday night or a Sunday morning. That would have been crazy. And then I would, I had the daddy installed two wash bowls in the bathroom, and we had the the tub. And so what I do with the girls, I could stand y'all up and bathe all y'all at one time, like that. All the soap, all the water. It was a good strategy, really. And then your clothes was laid out, and I showed y'all how to put on your clothes like you're like 3 or 4 years old, like a coat. You turn the coat upside down and put your arms in it and put it over your head, and your coat was on. So then I just laid everybody's coat upside down, and they all got dressed like that. It was a good game.
And then you taught us I'm dressing myself song. Remember that?
No.
What dressing myself. What shall I wear? And we went through every part of the clothes, and like, there's no way to go to the party. I'm dressing myself. And you put every article on, and then when every article was on, they would say, and now I can go to the party. You remember that?
No, I don't. I tell you what.
Shirt.
Right.
Before you I tell you what I would do. I would put something either over you or before you really got dressed and fed you so you can get your clothes
And one thing we had our system or whatever was, once you get dressed, you had to go in the living room and sit down. Like, you couldn't, how children be all over the house. We're like, well, you come over here and wear your socks, wear your shoes. Once we were completely dressed, then we went and sat in the living room and did not move until everybody was in the living room, and that's when we finally went to church.
And sometimes if it was like a holiday, I'll take your pictures after you got dressed. Remember that?
Yeah, Daddy did. Took our pictures.
So you loved all your children?
Do I love them?
Did you like all your children coming up?
You said like. First you said love.
Did you like all your children all the time?
I love them, but I didn't like them all the time.
Oh, goodness.
I get it. Sometimes, if they were pouting or something, I didn't like the attitude. But one thing, and especially when Dad would go out of town, remember he'd go out of town? See, every time he left, something would get broken.
Yes. Oh, that was crazy.
Something would get broken.
Yes, I remember that.
Something would happen. And when Daddy would come, sometimes show up unexpectedly. He'd work like 8 days and come off the 9th day, something like that. He was he was detailed out of town.
Right.
And it seemed like something would happen, would go wrong. But Daddy would show up at the opportune time.
Yeah. But you know what? Like, when he would come home that weekend, it would always happen that Friday, right before he came home. That last day before he came home, that's when something would get broken.
But one thing was good about when my family got together, going to the market. And one thing about y'all, none of y'all ever threw a tantrum in the store. None of y'all. All 12.
Why? We were scared.
Yeah, you were scared.
You were with me. Daddy wasn't with me. Daddy was.
It doesn't matter if they're with us or not.
Daddy was keeping the knee baby and the little baby.
If we show off and we got home, we're gonna get a whipping.
But the grocery store we didn't have to, because Mom gave us a list. We were shopping with her.
Yeah, we were so.
Remember, she gave us. Look, she would take her list and rip it in half. and give us half to list to shop with, and she keep the other half. You know, we had our grocery card.
Yeah.
And we would go shopping through stores. So we didn't behave.
And what did the boys do? What did the big boys do?
Oh, they would come later on and take all the bags and stuff.
And I was always
actually what they did, they were in the front of the store putting bags inside of a bag. They were paper bags.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And they had them all lined up on
they
the
were
yeah, and then when the food would come, they would put them in a bag for the cashier. And she loved it. And so when y'all got older and got bigger and started going to music and doing stuff and wasn't with me, she would say, "Where are your children?" Because y'all actually made her work easier. And then I could meet a girlfriend in the store and we'd be talking and talking and talking. And she said, "Oh, I got a good market." I said, "Oh, my marketing is done. The children got my list and they already got the marketing done." So while we was chatting, y'all was shopping. And so my food was done. And how about when we would go to Duff's at the restaurant like for Mother's Day? It was so funny. I would sit and all y'all wait on me, you know. And then we had the ice cream and the cone, and I loved ice cream. And then when the people came in to get ice cream, it was all gone. "Where's the ice cream?" That lady's eating ice cream. I said, "Oh, my kids got me this ice cream."
So who was your favorite child?
You know you're not supposed to ask that question.
We on.
You know she gonna say. Well, she used to say. I think she has one now, but she used to say, "All of you." I didn't have a favorite.
Mommy says she has one now. So who's your favorite child?
I don't have a favorite child now.
So who's your least favorite?
Our least favorite?
Yes, you didn't have that child coming up that just got your goat.
Wow, how you know where you want to ask her that? Like, put somebody on blast.
It's so bad.
Because it's all about mothers.
Like, I don't want to say. Just say, I don't want to say.
You know what I'm thinking? Some of the kids that gave me problems, they end up being the best. Just about it.
Wow.
Some that gave me problems, they end up being the best.
I think I gave you problems. I end up being the best.
Yes.
Well, you end up being one of the best.
I remember I told Renee that mom was putting me out. Oh, that was so funny. But you weren't putting me out, but she was living in Philadelphia at the time.
Tell that story on me.
Tawanda was real bad.
I said, "Renee, mom is putting me out. Can I come live with you?"
I didn't know you said that.
All about mothers. So Mel, what's your favorite thing about being a mom?
Oh, well, they grown up and I don't got through a lot of stuff.
What's she say?
They grown up.
She don't have to do a lot of stuff.
Don't. I don't got cook for them. No, I don't got clean.
You don't have to shop for them. But guess what?
Yes, Mel.
Yeah, guess what? I still like to get up and cook for my children.
We already know that.
I like to cook for myself. If it's enough left over, Tori is welcome.
So what's your favorite memory of being a mother? Mel.
Who, me?
Yeah.
I don't really have a favorite memory. Because it was like challenging.
Yeah.
Because I was a single mom.
Yeah.
You know, so it was just, just kind of difficult,
But you weren't always single, Mel. You weren't always single.
For the most part, I was.
She ended up being a single mom.
For the most part, I was. Yes, I was.
Because it's possible to be married and be a single mom.
That's not what mommy's talking about. Mommy's talking about mommy help you.
No, I'm talking about you did have a spouse. He had a
1 year, 2 years. I was single.
She was a single mom. You know, when she came back to Baltimore, she was a single mom.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was.
Right. And you know that. Why are you? Oh, goodness. Whatever.
Because mommy don't want to sound like she had children out of wedlock.
Well, she didn't have children out of wedlock. But she ended up being.
I'm looking at your face.
Oh, my goodness.
She didn't have children out of wedlock out there in virtual land.
I was still
now, as a single mom, what advice do you have for people who are out there and they're single moms now?
Well, I would just say, just try to find a mentor, find like other activities and things for your kids to do. And you should also have like maybe a mom's club or something, so
That's
you
what I
guys
think.
can sit and talk about different things or whatever to help each other out, because you really need that support
Yeah.
system in place, because like I said, it was challenging. It was really challenging. But I just, I thank God that I did have that support system. You know, my family was there, definitely. My church was there. Some people from, my neighborhood and the schools, they
Wow.
kind of pitched in and helped me out. So I was really fortunate that I had, that support system from other people. So I would, my advice would be just to find somebody who you can talk to, and don't hold everything in to yourself.
Yeah.
Because 9 times out of 10, you're not the only one that's going through, a certain situation.
Right.
So you can always find help, from someone else.
And it's good Melanie stayed connected to her family too. And we loved her.
And you gotta train your children to be respectful, because when you're a single mom, you gotta get that respect. Because Mel put the fear of God in her kids, because she was like, they're gonna be big.
Yeah, I
And
didn't
right
play.
then and there, she let them know she didn't play around with them, because you cannot be. It's all about mothers. You cannot be your child's friend.
Yeah.
When they're young, when they're teenagers and stuff like that. Stop trying to be your child's friend, because they're not going to respect you. Children want discipline.
They do.
Yeah.
They hunger for discipline, but we just don't always, give it to them.
Yeah.
Tawanda.
And sometimes you gotta, just real quick, just the last thing. Sometimes as a single mom with your children, you gotta put some bass in your voice.
Uh-oh.
Can I tell a story on Melanie?
Yeah,
She
bring
came
it down.
Melanie was always, y'all girls are always industrious. Y'all, and all y'all kids are hard workers. I thank God Daddy put that in y'all. And I was kind of hard working myself. But Melanie came in from work, and we had the children because they were in daycare, and I pick them up and all. And so, this particular time, she was, and she had bought her own house. But I had the children in vacation Bible school. That's what happened. I brought them home, and I would say, "You sure, y'all? Your mother says all right. Oh yeah, we want to go with your grandma. Are you sure now?" So she came home from work, and the kids weren't there. So she drove up to my house and stomped up the steps, and so said, "Daddy, get your belt, Daddy, get your belt." And Daddy, I got behind Dad real quiet and hit him on the arm. And said, like, no, 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 no. And Daddy, he stopped. He was gonna turn me on. Melanie said, "Yeah, Daddy, yeah, Dad." And I just go, just like that. Melanie didn't even know I did that. Melanie was in that room and straddle around her and say, "Rana, did you hear me? When I say go home," and he said, "And I'm here working hard," and blah 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 blah. She gave him the whole 9 yards. So they're both crying. Rana said, "I didn't know, Ma. I didn't know, Ma. I didn't know, Ma."
That's funny.
That's the only time they did that. They didn't do it, but I
Ever
called
again.
Daddy off. I hit him by his elbow. No, no, no.
Her children always did that. Never again. They didn't do it again.
Right.
They do it once, they don't do it again.
Not no second, third, fourth.
But they grew up to be responsible. They grew up to be real responsible.
Yeah.
They were latchkey kids, but they were responsible.
Yes.
They
So,
were-
Tawanda, what challenges have you faced with your mom?
Well, before I start, I heard somebody say that being a mother is not for the faint of heart. Because you have to show tough love. You know what I'm saying? So it was a whole lot of challenges, growing up with my children, and that I don't really want to get into. But one thing I know, one time in my life, my children ended up going to the school where I worked.
Oh, good.
So, and one thing that was challenging with that was I couldn't treat them any different, than anybody else.
Mm-hmm.
And I told, before they even came to the school, I talked to the principal, and I told him, "Hey, look, I will not be playing favorites. my children, they are just like the other children here at the high school, So that that was a little challenging because I had to send one of my children to the in-house suspension room.
What? Why you do that?
And one of the students, when one found out about it, all of them found out about it, right? They're like, Miss, you sent your son to suspension room? I said, I sure did, because if he was acting up, if you acting up, I would send you too. I'm not having.
And he would have got a whooping.
Yeah, I guess they say if they did it to her children, what they gonna do to us?
That's one reason why I believe those kids respected me, because when they found out that I had children their age and older, then because at first they thought I was one of the students. I remember I was in one of the classrooms, and where I worked, they had to wear uniforms, and the one student turned and looked at me, and she was like, "Well, how come she had to wear her uniform?" But when they found out, that my kids were there and they were, older than some, that's when they respect me. But it was a lot of challenges, and my children, we prayed together, sometimes on a daily basis. We read Bible stories. I read Bible stories to them, and everything. So yeah, it was a lot of challenging times, but God saw me through, and now they're all, adults, and they have children of their own.
Well, that's fun too.
On the line.
That's fun when you read and pray with your children. That is really good. That's fun. I like that.
Yeah, answer the questions and stuff from,
So I want to reach out to people on virtual land that's watching us. If y'all want to chime in, what's your most memorable moment, being a mother, if you're a mother. Just let us know some of your challenges, some things that you face. Sometimes we have a lot of like single parents out there, and they face a lot of challenges. Like you have teenage parents, they're still mothers, and they have to be mothered, because they're still kids,
Yeah, right.
So it's so much out there. It's all about mothers. It's all about mothers. Like, it's like they really hold a special place in our heart. And so we just have to learn how to appreciate our moms and love on them and all that kind of stuff. But it's like some people talk to their mom every day on the phone. I don't know if I talk to you every day on the phone, Mom, but sometimes I'll call you on the way to work. But
yeah, that's good. And I noticed y'all, and Reno calls me on the way to work. He calls me like 3 and 4 in the morning because he's on the job.
And he knows you're up.
Yeah, and we talked about an hour this morning, which was into my reading time, from like 3 to 4, after 4 or something like that. We read, and Tisha, sometimes she would talk to me until she gets in her office. I'm going to my office now.
Hour and a half.
And Pat too. Pat could talk. He used to talk that he gets to his office, and Cedric talks from home. He works. He helped me. He's my IT person in the family.
Oh, wow.
And he helped me with my computer system today, so I didn't have to.
Really?
I called my son.
Wow.
I have a question I want to ask to Tish, and she's putting us all on the spot. So, what challenges do you have?
Did I have
child? Or did you have?
Did you have?
Having an only child and don't have no backup? Like, y'all have other children, so if one child doesn't talk to you or go into that room, you got other children, you got other daughters and all that kind of stuff. So when Dominique would come home from school and just make a beeline to his room, I'm by myself. Dominique, how was your day? Fine. What you do? Nothing. Like, and that was it, going to his room. And so it's like, even now I said, Dominique, you're my only child. Like, if I don't get it from you, then I'm just hit. Like,
yeah.
So that's a challenge. Really, having an only child is a challenge for me.
But why would that be? Why would that? You think that's the case?
Because sometimes boys are like that. They don't want to be bothered. Like, sometimes he can be introverted, especially when it comes.
Oh yeah.
But the fact that you say that, the fact that you say that, you're saying we have other children. That's so true. I have 3, and only one calls me almost all the time. The other 2 don't even exist. That's when I come in.
And
so
another.
Did you had like 3 or 4 more?
No, I have.
Guess how many I wanted.
We already
No,
know
because
them.
what happened was when I I thought I wanted twins, but the Lord just knows. He knows your heart. I love the fact He knows your heart. Even when you don't know yourself, you be like, I want children. I want children. God was like, no, you don't. I was like, yes, I do, Jesus. He was
No, you
like,
really
no, you
don't.
don't. Yes, I do, Jesus.
Really
No,
don't.
you really, really don't.
Really.
And so when He gave me one, you know, that was one and done. And that's why I was
Right,
like,
right.
one.
Thank you, Jesus. Thank you.
I wanted one.
I don't think I was like the quote unquote nurturing mom. You know what I mean? Because
Really? No,
yeah,
she
I
was a
didn't consider
protective
myself.
mom.
Like a real woman. She just
I was a career woman actually, but I
But she
wasn't.
was a
When I say
protective
I
mom.
wasn't nurturing, it was like Dominique went in his room, I went in my room. You know what I mean? So I guess that's probably why he tries to get like we're trying to change the dynamics of our relationship now that we're older and everything.
Absolutely.
But going through a lot of stuff in life, really, I suffered through depression. You know, going through life happened, and I became depressed, and I couldn't be there for him like I wanted to be. You know, so once he got older, I began to repent for not being there and asking God to cover him, save him, you know, change things around. Don't let his upbringing, you know, have an effect on who he is.
Mm-hmm.
And so God heard that the sincerity of your heart was like, you can say this, and anybody watching, I wasn't a good mom. Lord, I repent, God. I need you, blah, 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 blah. And then he will honor, you know, your prayers and everything. And then
most
it's
of us
like
feel that way.
one thing, I had a child who was spoiled.
Yeah, I was gonna
He
say
was
that.
like spoiled. Hey, Bishop Williams, John Williams is on here. How you doing, Bishop Williams?
Bishop
From
Williams?
Pennsylvania.
Yes.
Yeah, so it's like he was a sport child. He got everything he wanted, and really my life kind of revolved around him. He didn't eat some stuff, so I had to like fix what he wanted, which was a lot. You know what I mean? It wasn't like I could give my child cereal because he didn't like cereal. He wanted eggs, bacon, and toast, French toast sticks for breakfast.
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't give him a Pop-Tart. You know how some parents say, "Boy, take this Pop-Tart and go to school." Mm-hmm. And then for home, I had to cook. He wanted macaroni and cheese, you know, homemade macaroni and cheese, French cut green beans, and fried chicken or barbecue chicken. So he made me. I'm so glad I have one child because he put me.
So I have a question. So has he ever come to you, or have you ever had that conversation with him about, you know, how did he feel growing up as the only child, and you know, things like that? I'm just curious.
He said he was like, his name is Dominique. He's at Nico. I call him Nico. And he was like, Mom, don't you wish I could have a Biko? I was like, he said, Mom, I wish we were twins. I said, oh, heck no. Like, I said, two of y'all
It wouldn't been like that. If you had 2, 3, 4, 5, they wouldn't have been like that. They would have been sharing.
I don't know. Dominique was the child. I asked Mom, I said, Mom, were any of your kids like Dominique? You know what my mom told me? She said, all of them put together weren't like Dominique. Dominique was a real, you did. Dominique was a real boy, meaning he was always going and going and going. He would give you the run for your money. So, you know, I
babysat him, Tish. Remember that time?
I know.
And then I washed his clothes. I said, I'm going to wash your clothes. And he said, oh, I said, well, how you do this machine? Oh, ask Grandpa. He know that kind of stuff. He knows stuff like that. And he said, I say, Dominique, now we're going to write a schedule today. Besides, we have a schedule every day. Now you write your schedule. You're going to do some work today. His schedule was eat, television, and keyboard, or drums or keyboard, something
drums,
like that.
Drums.
That was all day long. I said, Dominic, you can do more than this. I said, come on with your clothes. So he didn't help me. So we washed his clothes. And then and he said, Grandma, did you wash my jeans? I said, yes. He said, oh, this is the worst day of my life. I didn't know his mother put his jeans in the cleaner, in the dry cleaner's house.
Because they were designed.
But what I'm glad about, Tish, I do like that, you know, you guys are trying to rekindle that relationship,
Yeah,
you know, now. So it's never too late. You know, it doesn't matter how old, you know, you are, your children
That's true.
are, or whatever, you still have an opportunity to, get that relationship, back, that you never had, whatever.
And
So
that's good for virtual land too. Never, don't give up on your children.
yeah,
Always, strive and work to have a good relationship, with them, even if they seem difficult. Yeah, I know Dominic, he be downstairs playing the keyboard or whatever, and he hears the door open, and I'm walking downstairs, and he turned around, and he was like, "Okay, Mom, what do you want?" I was like, "Oh, Nico, and I'm all cheer. Oh, Nico, da, 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 da." I was like, and we're doing the studio, right? So it was like, "Oh, you like the studio, Mom? You keep asking me the same thing over and over again, So he tried to take out time for me, but he was like, when I'm downstairs, I'm working. If I'm on that keyboard and stuff, Mom, I'm doing studio work. I'm doing this, I'm doing that. And so I try to spend time with him. And he was like, he gets up in the morning and stop by my office. He's like, Mom, I'll be right out. Mel, when he comes out, he's fully dressed, running down the steps, saying, Mom, call me on the phone. I gotta go.
He's gone.
Yeah. And so when he comes home, I'm asleep because he's just always busy and stuff.
Yeah. So. And you know what? Children will never know what it feels like to have children, unless they had their own. So Ronald, I'm telling you, I think I told you guys before, Ronald, he's always apologizing. Almost every time we talk on the phone, he's like, Mom, I'm so sorry for how I was growing up. I really apologize.
Oh my goodness, that is hilarious.
I really appreciate everything you've done for me, for putting up with me. He just goes down the whole
Guess
line.
What? Like, payback.
He because Venus, she's a piece of work. She's something else. Yeah, Venus is my grandbaby.
It's so cute. I got a picture of her yesterday. She's so precious. But I remember telling Tawanda, but Tawanda was in her little wave that she used to have. And I said, I hope you have 10 children and all of them will be just like you.
They used to
remember that, Tawanda?
I remember you told me you're going to reap what you sow.
Oh, wow.
They putting curses on. They would.
And I was like, I had 3 of me. And I told my children, I said, look, Mom, I said, your grandmother told me I was going to reap what I sow. And I have 3 children. I said, all y'all act like me. I said, I got a whooping almost every day. You want to get a whooping almost every day too?
and don't take people like Melanie to the store with you. I needed a coat. So he said, I want to go. And I didn't want, and all your girls, you go to the store with Daddy. And he run the credit card all the way up to the limit. With high heels, shoes, everything you wanted, he'd get it. Right. So I had Melanie with me because I needed a coat. I really needed a coat. So I tried on this coat and she looking at me, looking at Daddy. I need a coat. I need a coat. So guess who got the coat?
Mel, and you didn't.
Mel got it and I didn't.
Children come first.
Mel.
Mel said children should come first.
No, Mel, you got to buy Mom a coat for Mother's Day.
I got you, Mom.
Okay. She's okay. She's brought me enough. Just like y'all say the thing your mother say, that's okay. She Melanie buy me stuff.
The worst thing about this, what we're talking about, is when your child acts like you, but it's the worst part of you.
Let me tell you, this is so funny. I remember when I was sitting at my table.
Yeah.
And I was eating something. And I was about to put whatever in my mouth, and my child went, ah! So I can put it in their mouth. And I remember doing that to Mom. Like, this is insane. It's like the very exact thing I did to her, y'all doing to me. Oh, that was crazy. That was crazy.
It drives me. I even hear the way he talks. The way he talks to me, I'd be like, oh my goodness, that sounds just like that to Mom. Well, man, she probably feel the same way I feel. Like, and I was like, and so I try to catch myself, you know what I mean? Because when your child acts like you, it's like you're bumping heads. You know what I mean? Like one time Dominic said, And I was like, yeah, I know what you're going to do because I was a child. I did the same thing. So he was like, well, if you did the same thing, then why am I getting punished for it? Like, why am I getting a spanking for it if you did the same thing when you were a child? It doesn't work like that. Just trying to get around it and stuff.
Yeah.
I got one thing to say or ask all of y'all. Do y'all love Tori?
Yes. Oh my goodness.
Okay, well, you love me too because she act like me, and there's no bad part.
She acts like you, though.
Yes, she
her.
She acts like no bad part in her. She acts like her.
She's loving. She likes to help out. She calls you and see how you doing and all that stuff. So.
Now she has her check-ins in the morning.
Yes, she does.
That's my daughter.
I still like for people to check in,
So, Mom, looking at all your kids, who acts like you?
Oh, goodness.
Nobody?
I can answer that.
I think a lot of the boys act like me because they like to talk. Them boys love to talk, and we can talk almost all day. And to one, I don't know who acts like me.
Tish acts like you.
I think like everybody acts like you. I think
somebody said Renee. Who said Renee? Hold on, let me find out.
I think all of your children act like you. I really do.
Y'all mostly act like
aspects of you that we have.
Oh, Darlene Richardson. Hey, Darlene. Darlene said Renee.
Darlene.
No, Renee dresses like Mom.
Right. That's not funny.
Because she doesn't. When I say that, she doesn't care. If she's cold, she's gonna put on 100 coats. Like Mommy be looking like the bird lady from Malone and stuff.
I have videos of Mom.
All kinds of stuff. I think
we were at the bank. I took Mom to the bank one day, and Mom, it was winter, and Mom had on leg warmers, a big old long coat. And she walking out the bank and the leg warmers falling down to the ankle.
That was
not the top down. That's the bottom.
I put that on my video.
With her leg warmers, it was like she bought the ones that didn't have elastic in them.
Yes, they kept falling down.
I was like, why did you
bottom, not all of them. They didn't fall down completely. It just did.
But guess what? Her dress is so long when they fall down, you still can't see them.
But that was a funny sight. I had that in my camera. I want to see it in my sight.
I believe in being warm and dressing for the weather.
But I think on a serious note, I think we all act like Mom. Mom is very caring and kind, loving, giving. So I think we all have those attributes of Mom. Long suffering, meek. Too much, too meek.
Jesus,
yes.
Help us, Lord.
Help us, Lord. Get us out of this.
I'm not too meek. Get out of what? Being meek?
Darling said, nope.
Nice. I be like that sometimes. I be like,
isn't that annoying?
Like it is because like at work sometimes.
Yeah.
And I hope nobody from my job is watching. But I mean, I be so busy. I have so much stuff on my plate. And then somebody would come to me and say, well, Mel, do you think you got? I'm like, oh, sure. I'll help you. And then somebody else like, well, can you do this while you do? Oh, yeah. So I'm doing 45 things at the same time. And I'm stressing to try to get it done. Yeah. I don't know how to say no. Can I get to it tomorrow? I'm learning now. I'm learning now just because of my supervisor. She's been helping me to manage, the jobs and my workload and things like that. And she was like, you need to tell them no. You need to tell them no. Now I can say, well, my supervisor said I can't do that right now.
So one thing Mom told all of us was always see the good side of a person. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So it's like we always try to see the good side of a person. It's
they
like
have a story. I'd be like, they have a story.
Because everybody has a good side. And I know all 8 billion people have God in them. Yeah. They got the breath they breathe is God in them. Yeah. So we respect.
It's hard to find the a good point.
Mel, Darlene said you better learn quickly. Oh, this lady on this stream with that pink on, she's like, you call her, she'll call you to do something, and you really can't do it. But by the time you get off the phone, well, me anyway, my no turns into a yes, and I'm trying to figure out how am I going to get it done. You know what I mean? Because when your nose, like you know how to say no, but then your nose, turn into yes. That's
master. She's a master.
Don't you say it. Don't you say that manipulator thing.
She's the master. She's the master.
I'm lost. You have lost.
That's okay. Stay lost, Ma. It's a good thing. Just sometimes you just gotta stay lost.
That's a mess. That is a mess.
So we have some funny things up here. We got 15 minutes. So we got some funny stuff up here.
These are actually funny Mother's Day's gifts.
Like me.
You didn't want to hear my funny gift, do you? My gifts are funny.
And
you
this right here, it says, "Thou shall not try me."
And it's cute because it has a little flower on there, the bow and arrow,
and your own scripture.
But don't y'all have those moments? Don't you even try it. Don't you even try it.
Oh, you remember them days?
Oh my goodness.
But Mom,
don't try me, huh?
Go ahead. There are
moms way worse than you. Look at that giraffe kicking that baby. Oh, what did it say, Mel?
Irrefutable proof that you are indeed a fantastic parent. And that's not the tail, that's the foot.
That's right. I know.
You know, giraffe tail's like this little.
Right. So I just want to make it clear to the people in virtual land.
Guess who I'm reminded of when I see this? Mommy and her son, one of the T's. I'm not gonna say it.
Oh yeah.
He's always dare her. He's always, I dare you. I dare you. And Mom was just, she would do it like I dare
Thanksgiving dinner.
I dare you. Mom had a big old bowl of water, like a huge. And he was like, if you don't stop, I'm gonna throw this on you. That little boy said, I dare you. Water was all over the kitchen. It's like parents don't even care if they make a mess because they were like, oh, you're gonna clean it up anyway.
Right.
I mean, water was all over the kitchen. Yes. Mom was a sharpshooter with the brush. I think the brush used to turn the corners. It had like some kind of satellite to it. Like it was like it just reached around. It's going up the steps around the corner. You're going to get hit by that brush.
Yes, exactly. That's right. So I like this one. This is nothing. You know how you ask your parents, what do you want for Mother's Day? They say, oh, nothing. And Tish was like, Mom was like, oh, no, because you have a family. You have bills to pay. Just I don't want nothing. Listen to this. It says, Mom always says that she doesn't want anything. As her favorite child, who are you to give her something that she doesn't want? So this is the gift of nothing. There is absolutely nothing inside this impossible to open container. So what more could a mom ask for? Nothing.
So when your mom says she doesn't want anything, go on Amazon
and buy her nothing. And wrap it up in the gift box.
What about this one, Tawanda? What does it say?
Mom, life is hard, but at least your children aren't ugly.
We got that all the time. Mom, I don't want to wear this, but at least you're pretty. Mom, look at your hair. Look like Mom. Well, at least you look pretty.
So this one says, Dear Mom, thanks for putting up with a spoiled, ungrateful, messy, bratty child like my sibling. Love your favorite. That's hilarious.
Well, we do know Mom's favorite, though.
Well, we used to know her favorite. She has different favorites now.
Yeah.
She said no, she still has that one. He was like, no, I don't have different favorites. I still have that one favorite.
No,
That's
Do
hilarious.
y'all know? Can y'all guess in virtual lands? Y'all know our family. Put on that chat who you think mom's favorite is.
Who
do you
I
think
can't wait to see this one.
Mary Palmer's favorite child is? And she has one.
Right.
Think about all of us.
Right. Go.
Think about it and put it in the chat.
And think about why they will be her favorite.
Her favorite. Okay. That's a good one. I like that too.
Mhm.
Now I like this one. Now this is not for mom. Because mom is not late.
Never late.
Ever.
Mom will show up 2 hours, 4 hours to a place
5 hours.
before it's her intended time. And then when she shows up 4 hours early, she will sit in her car and read a book.
Her book.
Sunday school lesson.
Or Sunday school.
Yes. Mom says never go anywhere without a book. You never know when you're going to get stopped and have a chance to read your book. So mom goes nowhere without a book. So this is not for mom. It's for somebody out there in virtual land. Look at this clock.
Not Patrick, darling. Not Patrick. Guess again. Think her.
that one was for Kirk, but he's not a mom though. But
wait a minute.
I'm just saying.
It's a candle.
This is a candle. It says mom's last nerve. Oh, look, it's on fire.
Remember Pastor White used to say, you get on my nerves. She was like, she doesn't get on your nerves. Does she take you, throw you down, open up your body and stand on your nerves?
That's a whole mess.
What?
You feel like it.
What?
Right?
It felt like it.
That's crazy.
Yeah, funny.
This is so cute. You mean to tell me that your real name isn't Mom? What?
Oh.
Mom used to say, I changed. Did you say, Mom? I think you used to say, I changed my name. Mom. And I never understood. Mom used to go in the bathroom to eat stuff because she had 12 kids.
I shared now. You might share that.
Yes, you did.
Sometimes you did.
When you didn't want to share.
When you didn't want to share, you would.
But you know you shared. Mom,
I
you shared other people's
she went in the bathroom to get away from us because I would getting on my nerves.
I
don't know how she did it. I'm
still
still
trying to do that from your mom. Thank you.
I shared one candy bar for all 12 of y'all.
Yes.
And Mel said, thank you. She got that from your mom, hiding from her kids.
But I want to know what made Darlene say Patrick, though. What? Tell us what made you say Patrick, Darlene.
Call your mother and say something nice. And remember that it's not your fault that she pees a little every time.
I told you not to put that up.
It's a boy, Darlene. It's a boy.
I guess you're not her favorite, Tish.
You even now we act just alike. I thought they would enjoy that. He said because he's the youngest. No.
Oh, because he's the youngest.
Think about her. Think about all the boys. It's a boy.
He could do no wrong.
Oh yes, Darlene. That's it. Let me put that up there. That's
from day one till now.
Absolutely. Darlene, that's her favorite child.
Absolutely.
I don't see the name.
Hands down.
Hands down.
Mm-hmm.
That's the name. You see it?
No.
Okay.
I don't see it.
Well, he'll be on tomorrow morning for Bible study.
I don't know how you can say that, Tish. That's not true. You know what?
Cracking up laughing.
Shame the devil.
You know what's confusing why you think that?
Why?
Because he was the one that didn't have to get all them spankings. He always came straight home from school, did his homework.
Sneaky.
He was extremely gifted. He was the first one of us
that had Bible scriptures all over his wall.
All over his ceiling.
Darlene says she ain't denying it.
She's not, Darlene.
I wouldn't call that favorite. That's not favorite.
And yes, Mommy, you talked about him all
how did God treat people? You know, we got.
Don't even try it.
Come
But
on
you have to
now.
realize God is not human. We are human.
Come on.
We are more than human.
So,
We're
look,
human and divine.
This was Mother's Day. Mother Dearest. It's Mother's Day. Worship me.
Oh, she was crazy.
No, that's not
That
good.
woman was crazy.
So, what do you want for Mother's Day? An escape route.
Get me out of here.
Get me out of here.
That's a privilege to be a mom. That's a good privilege.
Yeah. Well, that reminds me of the one where the mama said, "When my child act wild and crazy, I use a playpen, and when he get finished, I get out."
Darlene said, "It's okay, Vandus Farmer. All parents have their favorite."
That's right. That is right. Just tell it.
I don't have a favorite.
Just tell it. Just tell the truth. I'm gonna tell you why I have a favorite.
Why do you have a favorite?
Only one person calls me all the time. The other one, they care less. No.
So, Mom, what's your pet peeve about being a mother?
Oh wow.
She don't have one.
I should have a pet peeve.
Oh, she said she should have one.
Well, it probably is kind of corny.
Go ahead.
Enough money to send everybody to college, or I didn't have
That's
enough
not
money.
a pet peeve. Something to get on your nerves.
Oh, on my nerves.
A pet peeve.
So she don't have one. She don't have one.
Mel,
Wait
what's
a
your pet peeve about being? He'll come back to you.
A pet peeve.
Darlene said, she said you only have one Tish and he's your favorite. I'm fan. Now, what's your pet peeve about being a parent?
I really don't have a pet peeve about being a parent.
Or about Mother's Day.
About Mother's Day?
Well, with Mother's Day, I mean, I guess it should be celebrated more. It shouldn't just be just that one day. I wish, people, when they celebrated Mother's Day, whatever, this was just something that was from their heart, but not something that it was forced for them to do. Or, just because the limelight is on Mother's Day, they feel like they have to do something. So I wish it was just something from the heart.
I have a pet peeve.
Okay.
How they turn everything into commercialization, trying to make money off of stuff, and it really didn't start like that. Right? Some of the women wanted, the suffrage act, so they could vote. They get political stuff to make us equal to the men, and then one lady was remembering her mother when her mother passed and had Mother's Day, and turned into the second Sunday of May. Because her mother died on the second Sunday of May. And then the men took it up and started selling stuff, another thing, all these flowers, they die, and I don't have a green thumb. So when you give me flowers, they don't die.
You don't need a green thumb for flowers. You
So
just
get her an edible, what you call it? Edible arrangements.
Yeah.
Because those
So,
flowers.
Tawanda, what's your pet peeve? We almost out of time.
Oh, we are. We got 2 minutes. Pet peeve about being a mother?
Yeah. Or about Mother's Day, or about
Mother's Day?
About mothers, anything.
Well, like Mel was saying, it should be more than one day. So don't just call me one day, out of the year and try to celebrate me just that one day, Call me more than one day,
Yeah.
Look. I can't believe
call you now.
Right, my son called me right now, and I'm on the show.
So my pet peeve is when I see mothers in the grocery stores cursing their children out and just treating them like really, really bad. That's my pet peeve about mothers. Some mothers don't know how to treat their children, and they put them on the same level. You know what I mean? So that's my pet peeve. And another pet peeve is that I think mothers are celebrated a lot more than just, I like to celebrate my mom. But another thing is, never mind, because that's about Father's Day. So I don't want to, that was one thing, but it's about Father's Day. It's like mothers are celebrated more than fathers, and there are some good fathers out there. But they celebrate mothers I mean, you get all the flowers, all the candies, everything on sale, all that kind of stuff for the mom. Father's Day is just Father's Day. Happy Father's Day.
Y'all make Father's Day on us every
A
day.
lot of nice cards.
Y'all really help us. Y'all are good children. You give me a lot of things that I want, some things that I don't really need, but you still give.
And something that you need as well. That something that you want, you need. You know? So
Yeah.
And I don't have to ask, and beg and be fretful. What one don't give me, so it's somebody else. So I'm okay.
I know a
You
pet
got
peeve
12
about,
kids. You got 12 kids. Somebody gonna get you something. You got 12
right.
kids.
A pet peeve about being a mother, period, is when the child goes against the mother and asks the father without the mother knowing they asked her, without the father knowing they asked the mama already. Then the father give him permission to. Oh, that's a pet peeve.
We didn't have that problem. It's 7 o'clock because mommy would say, "What did daddy say?" And daddy said, "Well, what did mama say?" Anyway, happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there. Don't forget to like our videos and share them. Thank you so much for supporting us, and we will see y'all. So all the mothers out there, happy Mother's Day, and the aunties, happy Mother's Day, because some aunties, treat their nieces and nephews like their own children and stuff. So love you guys, and we will see y'all.
Love you guys.
Bye.
Bye-bye.